My senior year of college, I took a wrong turn down an old dirt road just a few miles from campus in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. To this day, I don't remember where I was heading, but I do remember taking a left. I remember as I continued forward, rusted cans along my right and rusted cans along my left. This old rusted pickup truck looked like it had been there for the better part of 50 years. I remember the evening sun beaming down through the trees and casting a silhouette of shadow and light along this old, dusty road as I continued forward. And I remember thinking, I have no idea where I am. Now, I know what some of you all may be thinking. I'm a black man in the backwoods of Mississippi. This has all of the signs of being a really bad encounter. But thankfully, that's not how this story goes. As I continue forward and reach the end of the tree canopy and slowly regain my sight from the sudden beam of sunlight coming through my windshield, I look around and I realize that I am in this old, poverty-ridden, rundown town. To my right, I remember an old gas station. Screen door, halfway hanging off, rusted. To the left of that was this old refrigerator. My grandfather used to call it an icebox, and still does to this day. As I look forward, I abruptly hit my brakes as a small toddler is just waddling across the road, nothing but a diaper on, and I remember his tiny feet collecting dust as he scurried across the road. My assumption is that the elderly lady, swaying back and forth in her rocking chair on her front porch that he was heading towards, was his caretaker or grandmother. For those of you who may be wondering why I did not get out of the car and help this child. And as I continue forward, and as I continue to look around, I noticed something. Everyone in this small, poverty-ridden, rundown town looks like me. Now, ironically, my college campus, just a few miles up the road, was not small, poverty-ridden, disinvested, or rundown. It was the exact opposite. We had beautiful seafood restaurants, parks, and fountains, all of the amenities. So how is it that this existed right in our own backyard and we had no idea? That day I discovered something. Sometimes you only find certain things when you aren't looking for them. Sometimes you only see certain things when they're brought to your attention. We only truly begin to understand things when we see them for ourselves. What could have been a wrong turn ended up being the right turn in my life. And that day I made a commitment to ensuring that more people have the opportunity to tell their stories and more people have the opportunity to hear those stories. My name is Avril Stokes. I am the creator and director of DocuCourse, a multimedia platform committed to both telling those untold stories and identifying the talent to create change. You see, when I made that wrong turn that landed me in that small community, I realized I had a responsibility, so I kept going back. I remember meeting a lady named Ruth, who was living in a state of poverty that most of us don't even think of existing in the United States. I remember the holes in her floor. I remember the mold coming up through her carpet from the wet, moist ground. Windows that were either boarded or wouldn't open in the Mississippi heat. And all of this was just a few miles from my beautiful campus and all of its amenities. I realized that we needed to hear stories from people like Ruth. If we don't know the stories, how will we know where support is needed? You see, once I had seen this, I couldn't unsee it. And I kept asking myself, why do things have to be this way? And I wanted more people to have that same fire. We've had the pleasure of telling stories of people like Justice Gatson. Justice survived intimate partner violence after failing to receive protection from our justice system. She did what she believed was right at the time and stayed to preserve that family bond for her and her child. But ultimately, she couldn't just sit back and allow her son to continue to experience those conditions. So she fled, halfway across the country and hid for a decade. Eventually, her pursuer found her. Her son was literally ripped from her arms, placed into handcuffs, put into the back of a police car, and returned to the father. Thankfully, that's not how that story ends. Justice wanted to tell her story, and she trusted DocuCourse as a medium to do just that. We interviewed her, a legal expert, a therapist, even her own family. We did the research and provided the objective facts to support the subjective truths that Justice was exposing around intimate partner violence and our justice system, as well as ways that the community can be more supportive for these Black mothers and their families. We wanted to support her and others in telling their stories to support others. You can watch it for free at DocuCourse.org. It's called Bells and Buns. You can also watch other stories and narratives and find out ways that you can be a change maker. You see, what we know or think we know here shapes our belief systems here and drives our actions moving forward. You have to understand the stories and narratives that shape your thought processes and perspectives, therefore influencing your belief systems and driving your actions moving forward, or lack thereof. At DocuCourse, we say in order to be a change maker, it is important to take that first step, to get started, to take action. You see, we believe that most people want to make a difference. Sometimes you just need a better understanding of the issues out there. And then you need some practical guidance on where to get started. We don't have to wait for the story to change to create change.